I just like to preference this by saying that this is not technically a review. I have not finished Zombie on the Xbox One. The reason why I'm talking about it today is because I have completed Zombie U, which is the original version on the Wii U, and I've played enough of the Xbox One port, essentially, to pretty much know what I'm going in for. For those who are not aware, Zombie U, back in the day, was an experimental horror game that became the best utilization of the Wii U's gamepad that we've ever seen. It sold nothing though, so now we've got this Xbox One port to try and give it a second chance at some game sales. You're just a random person trying to survive a zombie apocalypse in London, and this guy known as the Prepper, who was aware this is all going to happen, has been stocking up beforehand in his bunker, is going to try and talk you through it and help you out. The story is all very black magic, Knights of the Round Table, the Queen's in on this big conspiracy thing. It's not interesting, it's not clever, but it's not disruptive. There's no real cutscenes, it's all voiceover dialogue in the background. It gives enough context to explain why you're doing the things you're doing, but it's not really anything of any value. What makes the game compelling though is the fact that it is a pure horror experience. It's very difficult, and because you are just a regular person, not a superhero, there's no empowerment fantasy. No matter how good you are at this game, a couple of zombies is a grave risk to you. Because of that, the combat is a bit clunky, which actually kind of works in its favour compared to other games, but it can be frustrating to people who might not be prepared for the challenge. One of the most cool aspects about the game is that it has a Dark Souls element to it where if you die, you respawn as a completely different person, and the prepper will be, okay, that guy screwed up, you've got to get out there and do what he was trying to do. But you've got to find the zombified version of yourself, kill that version of your old self, and then steal your bug out bag back, which had all your loot in it. And if you die trying to do that, or if you just don't go back, that stuff's gone. So you end up having to start over again in terms of resources, and that's very interesting. For those who want a real challenge, there's a survival mode where if you die once, you go back to the beginning of the game, meaning you've got to be a master and very patient, which is nerve-wracking because of the risk. It's a short game overall, but it's still 6 to 8 hours long, and dying at hour 7 and going back to the start, that's a huge, huge burden to bear. It can really make the horror come out true. What made Zombie a really interesting game on the Wii U was its Wii U gamepad implementation, and obviously you can't do that on an Xbox One. The smart glass is not quick enough for it to be used in real time like that. So they tried to implement the inventory system or the D-pad, and it's probably the best they could have done. I can't think of another way they could have done it, but it's not good enough. It's not as intuitive enough. The other things like pulling off barricades and lockpicking, that's all used with buttons now, and it's fine. I mean, it's just very small, dumb things, but it does make it a bit less atmospheric because your control pad does not feel like your bug out bag like the Wii U version was. On the upside though, the Xbox One version does have some higher resolution, some nicer textures. It's not that much improvement, but it is there. On the downside, there has been some frame rate drops when action gets a bit hectic, so you've got to look out for that. Although I do really like this game, it's by no means perfect. It's quite linear, even though it claims to be open world, and because it was a launch game back in the day on the Wii U, there's a lot of copying and pasting with environments. You will see some repetition with its layouts and its backgrounds. Another problem is the cricket bat. Cricket bat is the only thing that does not take any resources, so we're using that all the time, but the way that you use it is very repetitive, it's very boring. It's just step back, swing, and hoping that you pop the zombie's head. It is the best thing to do, and it's the quietest way to kill people, but it's not fun after a couple hours, so you want to mix things up with weapons like flares that distract them and Molotov cocktails that burns groups of them. And there are plenty of guns and upgrades, but again, they all use resources, they all make noise, so you've got to think about that. It can make the combat repetitive, so I do recommend playing this in spurts. If you do not have a Wii U, and this is your only chance to play Zombie, I do recommend playing it, but this is not the best version. It's still definitely worth checking out at the price of £15. For more on Zombie, check out BritXbox.co.uk.